Hello, I am Pung and welcome back to my podcast. I'm so glad I said this a lot, but I'm really glad that I do it and I do another episode. If you guys already checked out my first episode, my last episode, I was talking about how did I learn English, and this episode going to be something different. I'm going to talk about my biggest loss in my life, and I don't even know how I will feel about this, and like if I'm going to cry during recording, but I don't know. I just want to share my experience that like once in my lifetime I lost something that I really love, and it's kind of like everything to me. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the time that I lost my mom, which is like I consider she's the most important person in my life because we were so close and we tell each other everything. So go back to my family background a little bit. So it's only four of us, my dad, my brother, my mom, and me. So, like mother daughter kind of stuff. We were so close, yeah, and at that time, going back around like almost 4 years ago, I was studying in Bangkok during my second year of university. One day, I got a call, a lots of calls from my hometown, like my brother, my sister, like my nephew, and my dad. The first call that I got, I remember it was around like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I am going to have a class at 8:30 if I'm not wrong, but I have a morning class, I remember. And then my brother called me that my mom got in an accident, and I was like, "Oh, really? Like, how did it happen?" Blah blah blah. But at that time on the line, the only thing that I heard is that my brother was crying a lot, like keep crying and couldn't even say a word, and he keeps crying, and I was like, "Oh, is that bad?" And he said something like, "I don't know, she's in the hospital." Yeah, and he's going to the hospital, he's on the way, and I was like, "Okay, keep me updated." I was trying to be conscious and, I mean, not freak out that much because I don't even know what's going on yet. And then um probably like another 30 minutes later, I texted my brother that, yeah, hey, like, how's it going? Like, tell me. And he was quiet. And then I got another call from my uncle that, okay, I needed to come back home because my mom like got in an accident. And I was like, okay, yeah, my brother just called me. But you know what? Like, back then, I didn't thought about any serious injured or like any serious accident. Probably like the worst case is that my mom just like break her legs or like break her arms. I don't know. But then I started to feel weird because everybody keeps calling me to go back home. But my uncle said that yeah, she's in the hospital, and he wanted me to go back home to see her, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And then my father didn't call me at all. And I was like, okay, what's really happening? And then I was so shocked. Yeah, but trying to be conscious, not to freak out. And then the last call that I got is that from my nephew, my sister. She called me and she said something like, okay, I have something to tell you, and I want you to like try to listen carefully. My mom just passed away, and I was like, oh, okay. That was the thing that I told her through the phone. I was like, oh, okay. I was so shocked. I didn't even know what to say. And I said, okay, I will go back now. I'll try to catch the first flight. And then I remember myself opening the closet and then looking at my clothes and don't know what to do. I was standing there for like 5 minutes, like only standing there looking at the cloth. Can you imagine? I was so shocked, but I didn't even cry like at all, and I didn't even like freak out, but yeah, I was standing there and then I caught myself like standing there for a while, and then I packed everything so fast, like probably 10 minutes, and then like go straight to the airport and book a flight, like buy a ticket to go back to my hometown in the south of Thailand. And then I remember myself talking to the reception at the airport, and then she's like, the first flight that you can get in right now, it's another like 2 or 3 hours. I couldn't remember, but then I was like, okay, is there any flight like available right now, like as fast as possible? And then she was like, no, probably like 3 hours. And I was like, okay, let's go for that. And then I was waiting at the airport and I went to the bathroom, and then I got a call from my best friend in high school. And I don't even know how did everybody knows, because I didn't tell anybody at all. I only text my friend and university that I couldn't get into a class, and can you like tell teacher that I'm going back home because the urgent emergency. And she's like, okay. And then I didn't tell anybody else. And my best friend called me in the bathroom while I was like to be honest, I was number two. Yeah, and she's like, okay, is he? He's crying. He's crying a lot, and he said something like, are you okay? And he keeps crying, and I was like, yes, I'm okay, it's okay, like no worries, I'll be okay, blah blah blah. And he like said some good words to me, and he's like, okay, try to be focused and it will be okay. And he hung up the line and told me last word that keep him updated. And yeah, and then I started to realize that shit, like, was it real? Like, what am I doing right now in the bathroom? Like, going back, and my mother just like died. I was like, fuck, what's going on? And then I started to cry a little bit in the bathroom. And I promise you guys that it was just a little bit, because I was so shocked and I didn't know what to do and didn't know what to express my feeling, like how. And then yeah, I got out of the bathroom and then I fly back to my hometown. It's like 1 and 25 minutes. And then I go straight to the temple where I needed to do some like ceremony for my mother. It's like a shower, yeah. And then everybody came to me when they first saw me at the temple, and they came and hugged me, and I was smiling. I didn't know what to do, you know what I mean? I mean, of course, I was so shocked and I was so sad. And I think the feeling back then is like, I don't know how to express, and I don't know it's real, you know? It's like the perception of my mom is not existing anymore. It wasn't real for me yet, because I feel like, okay, I'm home, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to say. It's really hard. Even like thinking about it right now, I don't even know how did I feel at that time. But yeah, we trying to push through everything and trying to get the ceremony done. And the whole funeral for 7 days, like I swear to God, I didn't cry at all. Like the whole 7 days, I didn't cry at once. I saw my father like cried a little bit, and I saw like his eye was swollen in the morning or things like that. And my brother was insane. I mean, he was crying a lot, like couldn't do anything. And probably at that time I was thinking, yeah, probably I needed to be strong. I needed to be that girl for everyone, to be that person for everyone, including my brother and my father. So yeah, everybody came like in the funeral and hugged me and say something to me. Like everybody was so sad because like they also knew my mom, and they knew like how nice and how strong, how kind my mom is back then. And that's why they feel so sorry for me, because, and I think because like they know we both so close to each other. Yeah, even my mom's best friend, my mom's of joy, which is my best friend, she came and she hugged me and she was crying a lot. And I was like, yeah, I'm okay, like I'll be okay, blah blah blah. Yeah, just like that, like every day, just like that. And then um the last day that I needed to come home, oh yeah, so the whole 7 days, I didn't come home at all because we needed to be at the temple, and I slept with my mom. I mean, with her body, yeah, with her dead body, next to the next to her body. Okay, let's say that. Every night, yeah, and I didn't come home at all. And then the last night that we needed to do some like ceremony in the next morning, it's like I don't know how that's it called in English, but like we burn her body, and then the only thing left is that her bones. So yeah, the day before that, I needed to come home because we prepare her body for the next morning, and then we didn't need to stay there at the temple anymore, and then I was back home with my best friend, another best friend. Yeah, she was sleeping with me and she was with me like every day. Yeah, thanks to her. And I came back home and I felt like shit. Like my mom is not here anymore. This is the first time in a long time that I haven't gone home. You know what I mean? Because before that I was in Bangkok. And then I came home without my mom. And I saw my father like walking, and then as soon as I stepped into the house, I was crying like crazy. I was crying a lot. Like, oh my God, I couldn't tell you guys like, yeah, how bad it is, but yeah, I was crying so bad, like so poor. And my father came to me. So, just a little background between my father and me, like relationship about us. We I mean, we don't talk about everything since it's like a guy and a girl, you know what I mean? And we never show love to each other. We never say like love to each other, or like act love, or like act sweet to each other, things like that. So that's not how we are together. And then that day when I was crying, my father walked to me and hugged me, probably like once in a while. I mean, yeah, he hugged me and he told me that it's okay, like he would take care of me, blah blah blah. He said all those nice words and like we'll be okay. And yeah, it's like hug me and yeah, trying to comfort me. And then I was like okay, and then I went to, I mean, I walked to the bedroom, and then I started to cry another time, which is a huge cry. And my best friend was with me, and she was with me the whole time, and she let me cry. And also my best friend that I was talking about, that she was with me, she went through this like scenario, this event before, because her mother also passed away. And you know what, like I didn't know how it felt exactly when she was in that situation. I mean, okay, I was there for her. I told her like, okay, she will be okay. She will get through it. Like I'm here, like always. Like text me, call me whenever you want. I will come to you, blah blah blah. But then it's like taking turn, you know. I'm here and she's the one next to me and saying those things that I used to say to her when she was in that situation. So yeah, that was the first time that I cried, the first day after I got back after my mother passed away already. And then next morning we needed to go to the temple again to do that like burning stuff. I don't know how does it come, sorry. But yeah, everything went well. I was crying, holding my mom's picture. It was in framed, and I was holding like her picture in front of her dead body in the I'm so sorry. I'm trying to think about this word, like the box. It's so sad. It's so bad that I said the box. I mean, it's the it's a box that contains my mom's body in there, you know what I mean? And then we need to push that box into the burning, like into the fire, like room. Yeah. And then probably 30 minutes, and my mom came out with only bones left, you know. And then we needed to collect those bones, and to, like, no matter how we're gonna do it, like some family might like go to the beach, go to the sea, go to the river to throw those bones away, or some family might keep it in the, like, shrine. I don't know if it's correct word, but it's like a house. It's like no, not a house. Yeah, it's like some place that we keep the bone of someone who died in there, and I do the later thing, which is like we chose to keep it, just like our parents do to their grandparents. Like, yeah, it's generation to generation. So yeah, that's the whole thing. And then I'm going to share about like how did I get through that. I mean, not completely get through it, but you know, I am sure that my mom wouldn't be happy seeing me crying, being sad about what's already happened, and I can change nothing. You know, it was so hard for me, but I also want to share this feeling just in case like you guys are facing the same thing. So yeah, I was depressed, I would say. I was depressed. Lots of things that I have to handle at that time. Physically tired and mentally low. How has I been pushing through this hard time? I mean, I was trying so hard to move on, but I know that I couldn't at that time. I know that I needed some time. And you know what, like I caught up myself crying every day since like I came back to Bangkok. And there was one day that I was crying so hard, and then I feel like I couldn't live without my mom. I don't know how to do, I don't know what to do. And that was the time when I needed to read a book because I'm going to have a final exam. Can you imagine how hard that is, like double trouble? Yeah. So I need to handle those emotions to get through it. And yeah, I was talking about like, yeah, one day I was crying a lot, and um I I felt like I couldn't live without my mom. Yeah. And I was walking to the balcony, and then I was imagining, that's the only time that I was imagining things like that. Um, I was thinking that I really wanna die. I really wanna jump out of this balcony because I don't wanna live anymore. And the only thing that I know and I feel like at that time is that if I die right now, I will probably see my mom. I will probably like get to see her. And then I remember my best friend, the same girl that was with me, um, she called me and then asked me if I'm okay, because at that time, like, she was calling and check almost every day. We talked every day, like, how's my feeling, because I was there alone in the dorm. And yeah, I was crying a lot, and I was talking to her. Like, now I'm standing like at the balcony, and I feel like I want to jump out of the balcony. That's the worst thing that could ever happen in my life. I mean, I really love my life a lot. I don't want to die, and I know that. Like, if I die, I don't even know will I get to see my mom, and what about like my father and my brother? Like how they're going to live, you know what I mean? So yeah, she reminded me something. Like, my friend was talking to me about something that um that's really important and changed my mind. Like, she told me to move on, and to like, life goes on, you need to move forward, and you need to make your mom proud of you. You still have your father and your brother who is like always there for you, and they're looking for you to be happy, you know what I mean? Yeah, so Yeah, all I can say that is that it was so hard. And um one more thing that helped me a lot is that I couldn't sleep back then. I couldn't sleep at all. That's why I say that I was depressed. I was like, I got depression. Yeah, because I couldn't sleep. I couldn't act like myself. I couldn't talk with my friend normally. I couldn't be around people. I was like antisocial a little bit. Yeah, and I couldn't sleep. That's the big problem because I also needed to get through my final exam. And I was sleeping every night, closing my eyes, but knowing everything, like 100% what's going on. You know what I mean? I counted like 1 to 1,000. It doesn't help at all. Yeah. And then the thing that helped me a lot is that I was listening to Dhamma. I don't know in English is the same word, but yeah, it's like a preaching from a monk that talk about loss, talk about how to let things go, talk about how to move forward after losing someone you love or things like that. So those things really helped incredibly. I mean, unbelievingly. I don't know, but yeah, I felt like I believe them. I believe a monk who told me like how to think, how to behave, how to handle your emotions back then. So yeah, that was the time that I was like, okay, you know what, like Buddhist, like my religion has really helped me. I never believed in those things, but at that time, oh my God, it was a big change in my life. I mean, I needed something to hold on, and that helps a lot. I feel like calm and I felt peace. And yeah, I pushed through those situations and those emotions by listening to preaching. Yeah. So I just want you to know that, sometimes life is like fucked up. You never plan, you never know like what's gonna happen in the future. You never know like this person right next to you, like they will be there for you forever. They will like be next to you until like no matter like when you think they will be there, but it's not working like that. Life is not working like that. One day you know that okay, you already lost your mom, you already lost someone you love, you already lost your dad, you already lost like your boyfriend, your husband. But yeah, that's life, and life goes on, and you need to move forward. That's what I learned. And also, this is not the thing that it's only me like facing this kind of situation. Everybody needs to get there someday, and someone even like get through those even before me. So it's not new thing. It's not something that never happened before. This is life. Like people was born and people died, every day. So yeah, that's how I try to like manage and help, and I mean try to get through by thinking like that every day until like now. It's been almost 4 years in the next February. So yeah, that's all I think. So yeah, I hope you guys get something from my message. And like if you want to do something, if you want to express some love for the people that you love, like just do it. Life is too short to be afraid to say nice thing, to say kind thing to other people. And yeah, anyway, that's all for tonight. And I always miss you, Mom, just so you know. And I journal like almost every day. And the last word in my journal, this is a very secret, but yeah, I always say that I miss her every time I'm with myself, every time I am happy, every time I like achieve something. I always think of her. Like, how would it be if she's here? You know what I mean? Yeah, those kind of stuff. But whatever, that's life. So enjoy the episode and bye bye. Have a great night and have a great day, guys. XOXO. See you next time.